The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the February 13th, the magical, magnificent Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there's having a great day. Yeah, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I can make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to give us a call at 877-927-6648. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a request but you can't call in, well, you can always send me an email. Send that to steve@tfnn.com. And inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tigers Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Magnificent Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, all the U.S. indices that we track trading the upside. Dow's up 285 points, or 0.8%. 0.8 for the S&P, or 34 points. 1.25% for the NASDAQ, 153 points. 13 points for the Russell. That's about 0.7%. A little over 1% for the semis. That's 31 points to the upside. Gold's off $10. Silver's down 15 cents. Light sweet crude is off 30 pennies. Natural gas trading out at 2.47. That's off 4 cents. And the 30-year Treasury, she's printing at 127.02. The leaders in the clubhouse right now, dollar-wise, is O'Reilly Automotive up 19 bucks, 2.5%. Monday.com on a Monday's up 19 bucks. That's 14%. Illumina up 10 bucks or 5%. Inspire Medical Systems up 10 bucks, nearly 4%. And Baidu is up 9 bucks. That's a 6% plus move to the upside. Our shakers, Fidelity National Information leading the charge off about $11 or 14%. G1 Therapeutics down nearly $4, 54%. That's a stinger. Silex Holding Company down 40% or $4. Tesla off $3. That's about 1.6% move to the downside. And finally, Guard Force AI down 17%, trading out at 1564. That's off 3 buckaroonies. So let's begin by taking a look. Well, let's just go over here real quick. Let's take a look at the 4 equity future contracts out here for the daily time frame. You got the ES Mini in the upper left-hand corner. What you'll see out there is you got resistance, in essence, at a swing point at 41.80 and the top of its profile at 41.68. You close above that, that is set up an A to B equals CD to the upside. The NQ trading right now above the top of its daily profile. That, in essence, is really your support area at the 12,408 level. And this could be suggesting that what the NQ wants to do is make a move to that 12,949 area. We've got the Dow, which had been trading between rising and falling trend lines out here, as well as consolidating with inside its profile. That's between 33,716 and 34,179. If you're watching this on Tiger TV, you can see the falling and rising trends out there. Price running right into resistance right now. So presumably it closed above where we're at. The top of that profile is 34,179. So we'll say slightly above that. I'd say if we get it closed today above, let's do it like this, 34,287 odds favor, run back up to that Rhodes Momentum Indicator resistance level in the 35,228 area. In the case of the Russell 2000, on its pullback on Thursday and Friday of last week, what it did was it found support at where a counter trend move to the downside would find support. And that is at the center of its bearish structured profile. And the reason is because that profile had formed below price when the actual profile itself formed out there. So 1923 is really the key area of support. So that is held. That is held. In fact, if you look at the Dow, support held there, the bottom of its profile last Thursday and Friday, as well as its rising trend lines. And in essence, the ES Mini on Friday tested a key area of support. That was its bullish structured profile level, and that was at the 40.67. So all the support has held. Now, what the Russell 2000 needs to do today, oh, excuse me, sorry about that. When there's one, there's more than one usually, so we'll have to pay attention here. But if price does close above 1936, that would suggest a move up towards its recent highs in the 2,000 plus area out there. So that's the daily time frame charts, what they're communicating to you and I. Let's shift over and take a look at a multi-time frame chart. Let's begin by taking a look at the ES Mini. So momentarily, we'll have 8 different panels on your screen. The upper left is going to be the daily time frame. You'll see I've drawn in there, in essence, the A to B equals CD lines, but no bearish reversal candle to confirm any kind of a top. Price is just taking on its green oscillator and change line. If you can, we're basically here at the 41.34 level, and if price can close above that, we ought to see a run to 41.86. On a 5-hour time frame chart, this did confirm a buy the D point pattern. I believe we talked about that last week. It confirmed here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That was on Thursday. And that was a bullish piercing candle. Now we have price. Now this 5-hour chart's not going to complete till 2 p.m. But what price is dealing with here is resistance. That's at 41.2650. If price is able to close above that at 2 p.m., that's going to suggest a further run higher. I'd say the 41.70 area. If we look at a 4-hour time frame chart, it also confirmed a buy the D point pattern. Price is taking on resistance, which is 41.26. That's the top of its profile. A close above that, as we come to the noon time frame, is going to suggest a further rally. The 2-hour time frame chart is suggests to move up to 41.44 before its next battle unfolds. The 60-minute time frame chart negated a TD9 count top. That is suggested to move up to 41.66. 30-minute chart, no top in place. In fact, there's an A to B equals CD to the upside that is in place as we speak right now. The same with the 15-minute chart. So the only thing that we've got going on here is a very short-term potential top. That's a TD9 count pattern on the 10-minute time frame chart. Price above its profiles, above its green oscillator and change line. Excuse me. So its overall signal is neutral, but it won't be signal if price closes above the high of the day, and that's at the 41.3825 level. So I'd watch 41.3825. If price closes above that, I mean, all the other time frame charts are suggesting higher price, so it's the 10-minute that is just suggesting a bit of a pause. So hopefully that helps with regard to what the ES Mini is communicating to you and I for the rest of the day. What do we want to look at next? Let's go take a look at Goldilocks out here. Let's go see what it is doing. So now what this does not going to show us is the weekly time frame. But if you watch if you listen to or watch the 10 o'clock update, you saw that price was testing the weekly profile support level. And again, that number for the weekly profile support for gold is at 1868.60, or at least that's one of those areas there. But that's using the April contract. Now, the reason why I say one of those areas is because in the April contract, we don't have a ton of data going back. So if I use my synthetic contract, we may have a different profile level. Nonetheless, now we're looking at these white background charts out there. I've given you a number where profile support would be on a weekly time frame. We're trading below that. So is this an A to B equals CD to the downside? Well, the retracement, I believe, let me do the retracement on a different screen out here just to see, but I believe it is less than a 0.382 retracement so far. Let me just make sure of that. Yeah, I'm sure that it is. Yeah, 28.5% retracement. So I don't know whether it's really an A to B equals CD to the downside, but what I can share with you on the daily time frame, 1827 is not out of the question. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kegstat's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kegstat breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Folks, give me a moment here, if you would, just to do a little housekeeping, make sure I keep the requests here on my phone properly. So just give me 1 second to do that. Perfect. Okay. So let's, in fact, I have the charts for gold up. So let's finish. Let's take a look at gold. Let's finish taking a look at gold and what to be watching and observing today. So the key number, put this down on your pad of paper, is 1863.50. 1863.50 is a confirmed low on the 5-hour time frame chart. That's Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal. It's a confirmed low on the 240-minute chart, another Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal. It's a TD9 count bottom signal out here on the 2-hour chart. And the 60-minute chart right now is in the process of completing bar number 8. So we've got those 4 charts that we looked at, all signaling bottom patterns. Therefore, if price closes below that area, 1863.50, that's going to signal to you and I lower price. Again, that lower price could easily be 1827. 1827 is the next TD9 count breakout level. So that's what I see when we take a look at Goldilocks. Let's get to some of the requests that have come in out here. The first one coming from Dan of the Den, who just simply mentioned that Nordic American Tankers, so I believe that is Ray in Sarasota that also trades that Nordic American Tankers was taken off to the upside. So let's take a look at what it's doing. And right now what it's doing is trading above its TD9 count breakdown resistance level. That's at 347. If price can close above that, really, price can close above that, then you'll have a really significant move to the upside, or you should. Why? Because one, you would be negating a TD9 count pattern that formed just 2 trading sessions ago. That was on February 9th. That led to, Dan, just a sideways move. And now price is taking that out or potentially negating that. That would be a suggestion of a strong upward momentum move. Upward momentum move to where, Steve? Well, I'd have to go with $3.84, Dan. And the reason is because this price, Nordic American Tankers, is trading with inside its weekly profile. It is bullish in structure. We're now trading above last week's high. That is a bullish signal. So 384 ought to be on the target list of a move to the upside. I do see that on a monthly time frame, so it appears that your significant battle is where we're at right now. And where we're at right now is dealing with the top of the monthly profile. That's at 351, and we're at 350. So, Dan, here's the battleground. It's clearly laid out inside our charts out here on a 30-minute time frame. That's at that 350, 351 level. If I look at a 30-minute time frame chart, we're going to be forming here bar number 8 as we speak. So you could see a short-term top. I would expect that we would see that within the next hour or so. And then what price should do is pull back and test its oscillator and change line at 340. Well, if it does that today, then what we would know is that the TD9 count breakdown resistance level will have held. And resistance is resistance until it is cleared. So that doesn't mean the 30-minute chart, just because it may form, it still has to form it. You still need bar number 9. That is absolutely going to pull back, but it is something to be aware of out there. If we look at the consecutive days up and down out here, we just really had that one little bar pullback. So this chart here looks very positive on this run for Nordic American tankers. So it boils down to real simply watching 351 to the upside, and whether or not price is able to close above today, that 347 level. So that's Nordic American tankers. That was for Dan inside our Tiger's Den, as well as I'm sure that, oops, what did I do there? Yikes. Holy heck. I'm sure that Ray in Sarasota was glad that we went ahead and took a look at that. The next request, also from Dan inside the Tiger's Den, is ticker symbol PRQR. So PRQR is, I'm not sure off the top of my head, I probably should know it, but what it is doing is trading at $2.97. This is PROQR Therapeutics. So right now what we have is this is trading with inside its profile, and also you've got a little descending trend line out there, Dan. The descending trend line, you probably have that drawn on your page out there. I just simply use something like this here, down to that. So I just see that little trend line. So that's where price is headed into, which really gets us back to the top of the profile out there. That's up at the 305 level. So consider 305 to be your significant level of resistance, followed by 311. And 311 is its oscillator and change line. We can see here that you had a really nice day, nice wide-ranging bar, Dan, on February 3rd. Where the price run into resistance, that oscillator and change line. So what that's communicating to you and I is that is also a very key level of resistance that if price can close above would actually probably set up an A to B equals CD to the upside. So watch that area being the key level to be watching at 311, but let's really put it at between 311 and 323. That is your significant resistance zone on PRQR. On a weekly time frame, I don't see much out there to assist us, nor do I on the monthly chart. Do I see anything on the 30-minute chart out here? The answer is no. What I do see is if price can close above on a 30-minute basis, 298. We're trading at 298 right now. You would get a 30-minute A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. So that's the review of PRQR. Dan, I hope that helps you out. Thank you very much for both of those requests. The next request coming in from from someone with inside the Tiger's Den. This came in from one of our production guys. That was Jacob, who said that somebody was looking for information on PepsiCo. We take a look at that. PEP is the ticker symbol here. It's a nice move today. It's above last week's highs out there. This should continue to move higher. It formed a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. No topping signal at all on the daily time frame chart. Okay, Stevie, then why is price struggling to continue to move higher? Well, the answer there comes from the weekly time frame. That shows that price is trading right in that green oscillator and change line. Now, that would be a beautiful thing if on a weekly basis, price can close above it. What is it right now when it comes to the Monday oscillator and change line level? That's at the 177.71 area. On a monthly time frame chart, Rhodes momentum indicator top, price is trading above the top of its daily profile, so support is at 168.40. I don't really see anything else out here with regard to PepsiCo. It does look like it wants to head higher, and it just needs to take out that weekly oscillator unchanged line. Next request out here, I don't know if it was a request, but there was discussion inside the Tiger's Den. Mike had 135 calls, and that was on Valero. We take a look at Valero on a daily time frame. It is consolidating with inside its bullish structured profile. But it's trading above the center of that profile. It is trading above its green oscillator and change line. Today, right now, that green oscillator and change line is at 138.28 or 138.47. So, assuming that price continues to remain above this level, we should see a move up to the 145.52 level, and that was on Valero. The next request is from Dennis in West Palm Beach. He wants to take a look at, and he's asking about Microsoft on a short-term outlook. So for that, let's just go to, let me do it over here, MSFT. So I'm going to put that on the charts that I usually look at for the futures contracts out here. And that's the one that I've got that'll give us the shortest time frames. That's the 10, 15, 30, and 60. So that'll be the area that we would focus on for you for, and not really the hourly, I wouldn't, because there's no way to have even bars. But we'll take a look at it. I'll let you know what Microsoft tells us. First, let's look at the weekly chart, the daily time frame chart. So in the case of Microsoft, let's just simply open this up, right? We want to understand what's going on in the bigger picture. In this case here, if you're intraday, what's going on in the daily time frame? Well, folks, that was a critical pause, if you will, because I hear the music playing. So we come back from this break, we're going to take a look at Microsoft from Dennis in West Palm Beach. We're going to take a look at Hecla for HD, and we're going to take a look at ticker symbol GORO for LB. He's looking for a long. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We've got the Dow up 276, S&P 35, NASDAQ 177. The Russell's up 12 points out there. We're looking at the charts here for Microsoft. This is for Dennis G. in West Palm Beach. He's looking for the short-term outlook. So let's start with the short-term outlook by taking a look at the 10-minute time frame chart here for Microsoft. What we can see here is we've got no topping pattern, and price is taking on a resistance level. That's the top of its profile, and that's at 273 even Steven. To close above 273 on a 10-minute basis, that would be at 1140. That would then signal a move up towards 274.33. If price can clear 274.33, then we'd be looking for a run to the 274. 276.76 level. So hopefully you've taken notes on that. Let's look at a 15-minute time frame chart, see if there's anything else out here that would assist us. And the answer is I see no top. I see price taking on resistance at the top of its profile. That 2 is at 273. So you can just rely upon the numbers that I gave you on that 10-minute chart. On a 30-minute time frame chart here from Microsoft, what do we have? What we have is price trading above TD9 count breakdown resistance, 269.94. With no top in place, that suggests that it wants now volume-wise. Well, it's a 30-minute. I'm not going to worry about that. Well, I guess I can. So you had 10 million on the high back here from February the 8th. We're trading into it. So there were 10 million shares. Do we get into it with more than 10? We got into it with 6, followed by 3, followed by 2.5. And I don't know where we're going to end up. It's too early to say right now. We're only 10 minutes into it. So, but this is suggesting it's already inside the swing point, so it may want to go at least tackle that high out there of 276.76. So that's the 10-minute. That's the 15-minute, the 30-minute. And on a hourly basis out here, although I don't really use an hourly chart for a it was used 65-minute chart out there. Let me see here. I can change that pretty quickly. The oscillator and change line will be off. Won't be off by too much, but it will be off. But let's just change this. The reason I use 65-minute, folks, is because you can divide that into the 6.5-hour trading session. So here on that time frame, you've got a TD9. No, you don't have. You've just got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, and that is trading into this session here from February 8th at 10:35 in the morning. That's when that bar completed. So what that is suggesting, because we're trading into it, is maybe run up to that 276.76 level. So that's what I see when I take a look at Microsoft. I hope that helps you out. It provides you with the information you're looking for. On a daily basis, it looks like Microsoft right now is trading above the top of its profile. So that's really signaling back a move back to that February 8th high out there. And then again, that's at the 276.76 level. So I hope that helps you out, Dennis. Thank you so much for your request. The next request coming in from HD. HD wants to take a look at Hecla and is looking for a long. So here's what we know about Hecla right now. And that is the following. It formed a TD9 count bottom on Thursday of last week. And right now, price is trading below that low being 565. So that pattern could be negated. What that would signal is the next move down to at least support. Well, turns out support is at 549. The low of today so far, not too far away from that, we've gotten down to 551. So is that the bottom? I don't know. What we don't have is a bottom pattern, and we have this being negated, and you're looking for a long. I believe you need further information in order to do that, because if price takes out 549, well, then we'll see a move to 539. And if price takes out 539, then we're probably looking at 473. And if 473 gets taken out, well, then we're looking at 341. So that's kind of like the rundown here. What I would look at, or what I would say is, hey, you know what, if we're going to look at Hecla, so Hecla, I don't see the buy signal right now, even though you're looking for a buy. I would say, well, what's going on with the GDX, right? What's going on with the larger ETF? Because if the ETF is generating a sell signal, then we don't want to be looking for a buy of individual mining stocks out there. Not that you couldn't, but I would say that would be kind of a dangerous thing to do. So we've got a TD9 count bottom in the GDX. That TD9 count threshold level to be watching is going to be 29.59. Let me just write that down on here anyways. Let me try this just so I don't have to look that up again. So 29.59 is the key TD9 count threshold of support. If price closes below that, well, then you have a negated TD9 count bottom. But again, here, 29.25 is potential support. That is its breakout level. So far, that is held, the 29.59 level. We're trading at 29.64. We can see the weekly chart, no topping pattern. In fact, has a confirmed A to B equals C to the upside. That should take us into the $36 area. Well, prices pulled back and has tested so far and rejected so far, but it's a weekly chart. It's green oscillator and change line at 29.43. But what we can say is key levels of support have held for the daily time frame in the mining sector as well as the weekly time frame, and that's as of 11:35 in the morning out here. In fact, even on a monthly basis, the GDX is testing support. The top of its profile, the top of the profile is 29.56. We're trading at 29.64 right now. So it's not clear to me whether or not you should take a long position in the mining stocks. Taking a look at the way that gold has traded, it's off $11 right now. In fact, I think the mining stocks have held up pretty well, all things considered. GDX is up actually 4 pennies out there. So I think you got to be patient out here, HD. Well, you don't have to be. You can. I've given you the information. From here, you can go ahead and make that decision. Like, for example, back to you want to take a look at Heckler out here. You could, take the trade at the GDX, close below that TD9 count breakout level, take your losses and go, because that would suggest lower price out there. So I hope that helps you out. Thank you so much for the request. Let's go to our next request. This one coming from LB. And LB writes in, he wants to take a look at ticker symbol GORO, Gold Resource Corporation, which is getting schnookered, getting hammered. It's closed out at, looks like, about $1.64 or so, $1.62. Where was this? This was on Friday. The close was $1.63, and now it's at $1.02. That is a stinger. And LB is looking for a long. I would never get in front of this wide-ranging bar to the downside. Just wouldn't do it. You're below everything. You're below on a monthly basis the red oscillator and change line. That is not a good scene. Now, you have triggered wave number 7 out there. That is letter G on my screen. But again, this is a wide-ranging bar. We're trading below the lows from back here in 2016. If I take this back any further, this is taking us back to its all-time low, which would be back in October of 2008. And that low out there, what? Is $2. No way, we're trading below it already. Wow. Okay. We're trading everybody in this equity, ticker symbol here, GORO. Every single human, because we are at the low of the day, is in a losing position. I don't want you to be in a losing position, LB. I think there are better stocks to take a look at. And today's wide-ranging bar, what caused that? I don't know what caused that. Suspension of the dividend, perhaps, out there? But I'd stay away from GORO. And hopefully that's the right information to provide to you. So thank you so much for your request. I hope that information helps you out, and have a magical Monday. Next request coming in from G-Man inside the Tiger's Den. Ticker symbol here is RTX. RTX is the Raytheon Technologies out here. Raytheon is trading above the top of its profile. It's trading above its green oscillator and change line for the daily time frame. You know what that suggests to you and I, G-Man? That price should go target 102.78. That's going to be your key level of resistance. That if price can overcome that, that would suggest a run up to that spike high that it made on that wave number 7 pattern. That was on the trading day of January 24th. That high is up at the 108.84 level. On a weekly time frame chart, you're above profile, you're above green oscillator and change line. That's a bullish signal. On the monthly time frame, G-Man, your resistance level is at 103.32. That is the top of the monthly profile. That has been tested a couple times, tested in April 2022, tested last month, January 2023. Both those times that level held. So you know where your key area of resistance is at. That's at 103.32. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. We're going to take a look at ABBV for Dan in the Tiger's Den.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 264, S&P 34, NASDAQ 174, and the Russell's up 12 points out there. We're taking a look at AbbVie out here, trading out at 152. This is for Dan, Options Dan, inside our Tiger's Den. So, Dan, as we take a look at this chart here, you're going to see a TD9 count and Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom on the daily time frame. You're going to see here that price gapped up above its daily profile on February 9th. Took on its TD9 count breakdown resistance of 150.43, and then on Friday it finally took that thing out. This is a signal of price that wants to move higher. Move higher to where? Well, quite frankly, the next area of resistance on the daily time frame comes up at the 166.28 level on a kind of A to B equals CD pattern. Nothing along those lines. So you can mark that down on a pad of paper as one potential stop. But the weekly chart says, well, before you get up there, you've got to take on my resistance levels. That's at the 155.78. You'll see the green oscillator and change line is near that area right now. That was the top of its polar structured profile. Price should be able to make that run. Why? Because typically when you close above the center of a bullish structured profile or below the center of a bearish structured profile, you'll make that full move. The full move is either to the top, in this case here, that's what we're looking at, 155.78, to the reverse, it would be to the bottom of the profile. So price should make that way to the 155.78 level. At 155.55, and as price moves up, that'll change a bit. So again, that's just got that. We're looking at the monthly time frame chart. That becomes your real price target, and where you could run into some real resistance. But if price can clear that area, that brings in the 166.28 level. So hope that helps you out. AbbVie looks like it has turned the corner here. Let me see this on the daily time frame. Let's see here. What do we got? This is the consecutive days to the upside and the downside. You can see on this move to the downside, it had never had any consecutive days to the upside. Today looks like it could be bar number 3. So AbbVie looks like this thing has turned a corner. I hope that helps you out, Options Dan. Thank you so much for the request. The next request that I have in here, in fact, that's the only request that I'm aware of at this stage, is coming from McGuppy inside our Tiger's Den. And he is in the SMHs out here. So that's the first place that we're going to start. In the case of the SMHs, on Friday it confirmed a sell the D point pattern. It did that because you can see we have the A to B, and then we have price targeting, or at least making that 1-to-1 level up there. And then on Friday, the reason why it is a confirmed sell the D point pattern is because price gap to the downside. The gap to the downside is a bearish reversal candle. However, price is moving higher today. We're trading above Friday's high. Yesterday's high. We're trading above Friday's high. That's a bullish outcome. So what price could be doing is targeting resistance. That is at 249 and change out here. Right now it's 249.09, but that number will change by pennies as price moves up and down. So you've got to confirm sell the D point. McGuppy, you're asking where to buy more. Let this pattern play out here. Perhaps this is setting up an A to B equals CD to the downside. I don't know if it is or it isn't. One price target would be 239.04 to the downside. The weekly chart says, hey, I don't know what you're talking about, a sell the D point pattern. I've got that same A to B equals CD, and I don't have a bearish reversal candle. And that is true. But right now we've got the daily time frame that we've got to deal with, and until it negates its topping pattern out here, which is going to require, I'd say, a close above its highs out there. We just don't know. You do have a wonderful TD9 count bottom on the SMH for the monthly time frame, and price stopping right at resistance. That's the monthly oscillator and change line. So I'm going to say you're asking where to add. I'm going to say when we take a look at the SMHs overall, I don't know. I think we just because of that potential, because of that sell the D point pattern, we just need to be patient here. Let's take a look at a couple of those instruments inside there, the high flyers. I believe that McGuppy has these individual positions, and the first one is NVIDIA. Well, what's NVIDIA do? NVIDIA forms a TD9 count top. It formed that pattern on Friday. It was bar number 8, the Thursday high. That actually is the high of the pattern. Today completes that. But price right now is trading just slightly above its green oscillator and change line. That's a bullish signal out there and suggests a further rally. That is, if price can close above 217.89 or stays above 217.89. If it does that, McGuppy, what you should be looking for is a move up to 223.38. If we look at the weekly time frame charts, very similar to the SMHs. The monthly chart for the for NVIDIA is not similar. This shows us a nice TD9 count bottom, price above its green oscillator and change line, above the top of its profile. Nevada and NVIDIA want to trade up to 389.46. That's the longer term picture there. This still could be pulling back to 206.34 or even 189.50. But this chart looks a little bit better than the SMHs. What about AMD? Well, if we go take a look at the charts here for AMD, what do they tell us? The daily time frame shows us what? It shows us a confirmed sell the D point pattern. That was that bearish shooting star candle from February 3rd. Price is below its oscillator and change line. It's above its the top of its daily profiles out here. So I'd have to say overall, we've got kind of a neutral-ish type signal. Weekly chart looks wonderful. Monthly chart says I want to go target 91.30. So you're wondering where to add on these positions here. You still need the SMHs, the overall sector, to probably give us that signal. So I'm just uncertain. I don't see a clear pattern here to trade, to tell you where to enter or add to that position. So I hope that helps you out. And thank you so much for the request. Now, just looking at email, no requests there. I don't believe there's anything inside the Tiger's Den. So we do have about a couple of minutes here. If somebody does have something they want me to take a look at, just punch in the symbol. We'll pull those charts up. Short of that, what are we going to go take a look at? So we looked at gold. We looked at the ES Mini. We've taken a look at a lot of charts. We've kind of taken a look at the mining sector, certainly the semiconductor sector. So where does that leave us? Let me just see what's going on. Look at my 9-panel market update chart out there. What do we want to look at? Nothing stands out when you take a look at that. Crude oil. Thank you, Mr. Bill. Let's go take a look at light sweet crude for Mr. Bill inside the Tiger's Den. We'll get these charts here to populate. It'll take just a moment. We are in the March contract. Let's go take a look at April. So let's take a look at the April contract here for light sweet crude. Let's get those populated. The daily is going to show up on the upper left-hand side. We've got price trading out at 79.81. So the March contract for light sweet crude should go target 80.66. That's the top of its profile. Mr. Bill, if price can close above that, then we're looking at a move up to 82.69, the TD9 count breakdown resistance level. Nice TD9 count bottom on the daily time frame. So 80.66 is your support area. That price should go target. That's confirmed by the 5-hour time frame chart. Shows price continues to remain above its oscillator and change line, which gets tested and continues to act as support. If we look at a 4-hour time frame chart, I don't see much out here. Again, price trade with inside its profiles. 80.22 is a resistance level. We got 80.66 on the daily time frame. So that really becomes your resistance zone. So when I take a look at light sweet crude, everything here, Mr. Bill, looks like price wants to run higher. 80.05 on the 30-minute chart is a resistance zone. So if price could close above that, which is the top of its bear structure profile, that would be a bullish outcome. So I hope that helps you out. Thank you very much. Steve, just back in. Did I check the Qs? Can I check the Qs, please? I can. And we can check the Qs. We'll just do it this way here. We'll just put up the 3 time frames for the QQQ chart. We'll see what they're signaling to us. Normally, Duncan, I would go take a look at the NQs, but you specifically asked for the Qs. We've got just about 15 seconds here. So in the case of the Qs, they've got a nice TD9 count top. That formed out here on the trading day of February 2nd. Price right now is trying to overcome and get back inside or get back above its green oscillator and change line. So if price can close above 303.28, Duncan, that would suggest we could see a move up to the recent highs out there, and that's up at the 313 level. That's what I see when we take a look at the Qs out there. We do have another request to take a look at the GSM for Dan of the Tiger's Den. And Duncan, Steve, let me know if I've given you the information you needed with regard to the QQQ. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we got the Dow up 289, S&P 37, NASDAQ 182, Russell's up 14. So we got a rally on today. Let's go take a look at the last two requests out here. The first one is for ticker symbol GSM. That was from, I'm not sure who. It doesn't really matter. That was for Dan. No problem, Dan. So if you take a look at GSM, it's got a TD9 count top that formed out here on January 18th. It's really traded in a sideways move out here. Now, it looks like it's trying to bust through that sideways move. You don't have any kind of a bottom signal out here in the daily time frame. So what's open is a move to 368. I'm not saying it's going to get down there, but you're below profile. You're below its oscillator and change line. A further retracement is in order. You're back inside the weekly profiles out here. So 430 is an area of support to watch. Your price got below that. 418 would become a target out there. That is GSM. Let's go to the next request, maybe the final request out here, which is ticker symbol XBI. If we take a look at XBI, the question was maybe something like, is it time to get in? I think something like that out here. If we take a look at XBI, here's what I can share with you. There's a new profile that is formed. No, I take that back. There's not a new profile. Price is trading right now right at the bottom of its profile at 85.91. You're at 85.86. If price closes below 85.91 today, that would be 2 days below that. And that would suggest lower price. So the question was, is today's little move higher a sign of an entry? And I don't see it that way. Watch the profile throughout the day. The weekly chart, you're back inside its profile as well, so price could easily target 83.69. The monthly, you're back below its red oscillator and change line after closing above it last month. It's not a great signal, but it's obviously early. It's only the 13th in the month out there. So is now the time to add to a position in XBI? Look, your price could regain 85, 85.91. We get back of 85.91, then maybe, because price will pull back to its bullish structured profile. So just be careful there. So I do hope that helps you out. Thank you so much for all the requests out there. Please stay tuned. We've got magnificent programming on Magical Monday. Have a wonderful day, folks, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Terrific Tuesday. Take care. Be safe out there.